Hello everybody, this is Nintennerd. Welcome back to Twilight Princess HD. We are going through this door and we are advancing to the next stage of this dungeon. Or the next room, I should say, not the next stage. Holy shit, we're being attacked. And I don't have arrows or bombs or slingshots. I don't even think slingshots would work. I don't think my sword would work in the slightest. Maybe in like Skyward Sword, but not this game. So let's try to get around this as quickly as possible. Oh, or we could just do this. That's probably the puzzle that we have to get across. Is that we cannot like get through there, so let's just go up. Let's go a different way. Maybe there's an item here, like arrows. It'd be interesting to see arrows pop up in a dungeon where you're using mostly another item to get through. Nope, just piece art. That's fine. That is an interesting concept though, right? Can I get... I can. Alright, so as I was talking about in the last episode, if you watched it, if you didn't, I don't know why you're here instead of there, but regardless, no skin off my bones. You're still watching my videos, so that's cool. I was talking about how much I like this game in terms of innovation slash like its dungeon or item mechanics. Also, what the hell is this? Oh, is that just to get to the other side of the other thing? Yes, it is. Okay. So we'll ignore that. Please let me go up. Thank you. Alright. So, and I'm even got a key. So, I was talking about how I like that they use the iron boots in a different way. They're innovating on already used items, in addition to adding items to the game. And there are definitely items that in this game that are like, oh, you don't use them for anything other than the dungeon. Which is mostly true. I will admit to that. And we will see examples of that later. Like even, well, like okay, a good example. It's not it's not a good example, but an example of a good item in that perspective is actually the Gale Boomerang, because it is used for its main purpose, which is spinning propellers and being the one weakness of the specific boss, like most dungeons are. Like they have one very specific puzzle element. Like not even the object, like not just the element in general, but like the physical object is the same. It's the same object that's scattered around the dungeon. That sort of thing is a very common thing with certain items in Zelda. And the Gale Boomerang is one of those kinds of items. But it is also an item that you can use in combat. It is like kind of a more reliable way of stunning people. That more reliable, say, than the slingshot, which as you would expect is only good for stunning medium small enemies, or small to medium enemies, and then like the very tiny enemies it will actually kill. Gale Boomerang I don't think has ever killed a thing, which is interesting, but it does stun almost everything it hits. Like, let's try real quick, if it's possible. camera's really fucking me up right now. Well, let's just hit the guy. Yeah, see, look at that. He got, well, that wasn't a great example, I guess. He got stunned, but not as much as I would have liked. Alright, bad example then. But regardless. You know what? Actually, the Gale Boomerang is still concurrent to my point. The Gale Boomerang, technically a new item, but we've seen the Boomerang plenty of times before. But they innovated on an existing item. The Iron Boots. It's still the Iron Boots. They maybe look slightly different in terms of the actual design. And not just the graphics alone, but like they're also used in magnet puzzles in addition to just water puzzles. Which is why this is another great quality of this game, is that unlike other games, like, what's a good example? Ooh. Unlike other games where, like if I were to think of a good example, let's say, I was going to say Link to the Past. Okay, any game, and this is actually an item in general that just doesn't change, is the bow and arrows. Bow and arrows does not change within games. It changed in Ocarina of Time when you got elemental arrows, but other than that, you don't see much change. Even in Twilight Princess, I don't think they definitely have, or I'm pretty darn sure they have elemental arrows. But the arrows are one of those things that are, well, in addition to just being hard to actually innovate on, it's hard to innovate on. That's, I guess, is the bottom line. But that's it. That's what I'm trying to say, is that it's one of those items that just don't get innovated very often. Whereas the boomerang, and in this case the boots, they get innovated on. Whereas in other games, like think about Ocarina of Time. Although it is the first game to be made into like a three-dimensional space, it's understandable that they wouldn't innovate on the boomerang. But they don't innovate it in Majora's Mask. They don't innovate it on Wind Waker that I can remember. There aren't like any new boomerangs. In fact, the original Legend of Zelda is the only one that actually has different boomerangs. This one has one boomerang, and it's a different boomerang than have experienced before. And it doesn't simply do what a slingshot could do, or what a hookshot could do, or what a sword or bow and arrow could do. It is its own purpose, and also better than the original boomerang itself. Now, time to talk to this guy. The young Homian. I am pleased to see that see you make it this far, brother. I am one of the 4 elders of the Goron tribe. I am Gor Ebizo. You have heard of the plight of our patriarch. Otherwise, you would not have come to see me. Here, take this, brother. This guy's clearly supposed to be Jamaican. I'm not doing a very good mix. Now, there is one more shard, but seeing you has reminded me of the dangers that line the path to it. There is something that may help you, a weapon said to have been left in this mine by a hero of old. It is beyond price, and we have protected it through the generations. Now, when our tribe balances on the brink of ruin, it could aid in our salvation. The hero's weapon is stored safely up ahead. I was waiting a little British there. Talk to the guide and take it with you, with the blessing of the Gorons. Bah, it's hard to do these elders' voices. Especially all in a row like this. Use your fucking sword. God damn it, Link. God damn it, Link. Climb up things normally. Stop it, Link. Just go. Hey, we're going up the ladder. Okay. We are going forward. We're moving forward. Nothing in our way. Ladders can go suck a dick. So yeah, within all this time spent, let's try to figure out an example. Okay. Alright, so I will admit, Twilight Princess does not innovate on every weapon. Probably because, for the same reason that, like I said for the bow and arrows, it's hard to innovate on certain weapons. Like the slingshot. You don't see, like, extra bullet shooting slingshots until Skyward Sword. And even then, you have to craft it yourself, which is an interesting mechanic of Skyward Sword. That is actually specific to that game. Which is one of the reasons why I like Skyward Sword. But, what I will say... Okay, I don't really know. I started talking. There wasn't really a... Well, I mean, there was a point to it, but I didn't really have a goal or a particular, like, idea of how I would make it clear that this game was the best in the series. Whoa, human! What business does a human have coming here? None business. This is a forbidden place. I will protect this treasure from you. Now I'm going a little more Jamaican. And I probably should have went like a Hulk Hogan or something like that. Brother. Oh my god. Shield work. Am I, like, hurting him? I don't know if I'm hurting. I don't think I'm hurting him. Okay, so it was working. Oh, I need to do this better. Alright. Let's focus on this guy trying to attack me. Except maybe angle it better. Woo! Fuck. Well, alright. I was thinking too much about just talking about how much I like this game and trying to give you a legitimate reason as to why this game is great, even though I shouldn't need to. You guys should know that for yourself, but I'm not gonna judge you for not liking this game. I'm also not gonna give in to the haters thinking that they've got me in shambles because of this. Please, okay. Yeah, we did it. Alright, so we're gonna just fight this guy. Hopefully it doesn't take us too long. It is kind of an easy boss. I'll give it that. Um, let me position myself better. Alright. There we go. There we go. Easy peasy. That's a cool... Okay. Wait, did we... I don't think we got like a... Well, let me think. No. We didn't get... We didn't get any... like Goron related like brace that made us stronger. So it's interesting that Link even with the iron boots, like the iron boots makes you harder to move, but it doesn't make you stronger, right? Also, that wasn't the final boss. FYI. There's still more here. We gotta find that last piece, which might be right here. Except it's not. It's the hero's bow. So we do get the bow in the same dungeon as the one that we've been using the iron boots for, which is interesting. It is very interesting. And now we have to switch this bow over to R because we don't need the slingshot anymore. Alright, so that's how that goes. And we're gonna end this episode right now before these guys come alive and attack us. Spoiler alert, you'll figure out what that means next time on Zelda. This is Nintennerd signing out. Thanks again so much for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't.